Good afternoon. I want to show you a couple of quick new additions. I found this little mini. It's actually planted in cocoa. Beautiful, beautiful white bloom. It's healthy. It looks to be healthy. Lots of roots and stuff. And it was like $6. And I found this one. There was actually about 100 of them, and I just it was either get them all or just get two and leave and walk away quickly. So I just got two and walked away quickly. One of the things I love about this one is the red on the underside of the leaves, and I'm going to have to do a little research and find out if that's genetics or if it's symptomatic with something we're having an issue with. But again, in cocoa, show it in some light here. Planted in cocoa. And cocoa is a hydroponic material. It's a organic material. It looks like potting soil and dirt, but it's not. It actually contains no nutrients whatsoever. It only contains nutrients of what you put in it. It's basically just it's like brown sawdust, but it doesn't deteriorate. It lasts a long, long time, and it's actually great stuff to add to my potting soil or any type of mix to aerate it, and also for water retention, because it will retain a lot of water. It's better than moss. It's a lot better than Spanish moss. If I see them in cocoa, I'd rather buy a plant in cocoa versus moss. Excuse me, moss any day. The moss will break down and go acidic very quickly. When cocoa breaks down, it doesn't go acidic as fast. It's a lot slower process. Not too bad. $6 again. Very pretty. One of the people I started watching when I was first got an interest in orchids was Olivia's Water Culture Orchids, OME, Olivia. She did a great bunch of videos on water culture and how to take care of, get your plants started in water culture, and a ton of information. And she generally is there to try and help people. And if she doesn't know, she'll tell you, oh, let me see if I can find out about that, or she'll get back to you. But she has some great videos. I suggest everybody go watch her. She's been asking some questions because she's trying to increase her growing capabilities, and which I think is great. And she always asks great questions. And we were going back and forth about something, and she's asking about, well, how exactly can you tell when exactly the plant wants to be watered and when not to water, and so on and so forth, and how much are you feeding? And I think a great point got brought up that, I don't generally recommend that, oh, well, you need to feed around 150 parts per million or 300 parts per million or something like that, because as you're looking in front of me, all these different plants, it's not a one size fits all kind of statement. I can't tell you, well, feed it 150 parts per million or feed it 200 parts per million, because that doesn't necessarily work based on the species of orchid or a species of plant. The age of the plant. A younger plant, you're not going to want to give as much nutrients to. The size of the plant, the condition of the plant, the health of the plant. Is the plant hydrated, or is it severely dehydrated where it's going to suck up a lot of material? Temperatures surrounding you can make a big difference in how much fertilizer you should feed. We've talked about that in another video because of how it gets broke down. But there's a lot of important factors. I don't want to give a specific one kind of general answer. I will say that I very rarely feed more than around 125 parts per million anytime I feed. Now, just like when I was talking with her, I may go up on a few types of species and a few other plants because I'm trying to push them, and I may go lower on a bunch of different plants because of what I'm trying to do with them. I'd rather, based on all the stuff that we're going over and been talking about over the last couple of weeks, and I think there's a whole bunch of people here who got a whole lot better understanding of hydroponics and growing orchids with hydroponics than did a couple of weeks ago. I can tell by just the answers and the ahas I'm getting. So that makes me very, very happy. But I wanted to make sure that everybody understands. I can't. It's not really something like that. It's something about, this is more of, you need to think, and you need to cater your feeding to what you're doing at that moment. I give my fowls more than I give my cattleys typically. I feed my Vandas higher than I have been, and I actually need to go up on that because they're starving. I've just noticed it looks like the Catleys get more of the Oncidiums, but I've got Sophronitis that actually I've been giving them very, very light doses because they're young plants, but they seem to be one of the most hungriest of all the orchids I have out here. And the Encyclias seem to be taking very high feed, and again, it may be because of how the pH is dialed in, or it could be because of temperatures, etc. One of the things we were talking about the other day, when you're growing and you're mixing your nutrients, once if you've been feeding at 300 and 400 parts per million, once you get your pH dialed in, it's like if you've been eating the entire time you've been eating for the last year, you've been eating with somebody who's had their hands around your throat, but you've been managing to get it in, and then all of a sudden they take their hands off your throat, you're going to be taking food in a lot faster. Do you understand what I'm saying? Once you get that pH and you start getting those pH swings up and down, and you start dialing in your pH, cut back your feed. There's no reason to feed such high doses. You do, and you may actually do more harm. I hope that makes sense. When things are running really, really well, they don't need quite as much feed. All right. Also, if you've been feeding steadily at one pH or using one mix, just steadily the same, you more than likely, if you've been doing it for more than about 10 or 12 feedings, you more than likely have a buildup of certain elements or certain minerals. Until those are really flushed out and the plants get them out of their tissues, I wouldn't change my feed 100% and just start, I've been feeding on the low end of the scale, so now I need to start giving them a whole bunch more phosphorus because that's what they've been missing. If you do that, you're going to cause a bigger issue. Some of the minerals, when they build up, and most of the minerals, when they build up, they will block other minerals from being absorbed. If you have real high potassium, you may not be able to absorb any magnesium, and it doesn't matter if the pH is perfect for the magnesium to be absorbed. And you can dump as much magnesium on that plant as you want. And all it's going to do is just build up and build up and build up, and the plant won't be able to absorb it because it's been locked out by another nutrient. All right, we can talk about that later on in another topic. You also need to understand mobile nutrients versus non-mobile nutrients, because when it comes to diagnosing a plant and you look at an orchid, how you can tell by looking at it based on the color of it, new growths, old growths, color on the tips, colors on parts, shading, different things like that, the way the roots are shaped and different things. You can tell all of that, whether or not it's a mobile nutrient or a non-mobile nutrient, and that helps you diagnose a plant really very quickly. When you're walking through hydro beds and you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of plants, I can't look at individual plants. You don't want to look at individual plants. You look at the overall health of stuff. You make assessments based on color, based on this, based on that. And with hydronutrients, it's very, very quickly. They show specific signs. It's very quickly to go through and diagnose and say, this is what's wrong, this is what's wrong. They need more calcium, they need more magnesium. Their pH is low, their pH is high. They need more, they've got a block out. They've got something being built up. Once you understand mobile and immobile nutrients and how they work and how they collect in a plant, and again, I know it sounds super, super complicated, but it's not. It's another one of these simple pieces of the puzzle, and once you get a whole bunch of these pieces of this is all, in a matter of time, going to all start making sense, and this should start helping you with your grow. I just want to touch on a couple of points there. Please, keep those questions coming. I love the questions. Let me know what else I can answer. Have a great day.